All right, my name is Joseph Spivey, and welcome to the first video that shows you a little bit about the course. In this video, we're going to look at Moodle and some of the important stuff to keep in mind about our Moodle website. So the first thing I want to do is to tell you about this upcoming events block. So every assignment, I put every assignment on Moodle, including tests and readings and quizzes and assignments. All those assignments go directly on Moodle. And a few days before each one is due, it'll pop up over here in the upcoming events block. So instead of taking time to assign things in class, I typically just put it on Moodle and expect you to look every single day to make sure that you know about what's due, right? This upcoming events block is exactly how you know what's due and when it's due. So that's one really nice feature of Moodle. The other nice feature of Moodle is that it allows me to post your grades. So the grades are available right over here in the grades link. Okay. And this is what your grade book looks like right now. You'll notice that there's not a lot in there because you haven't had any, there are no grades yet. But once things get graded, then they'll start populating right here. So all those grades will start showing up here. There are two really nice things about this. One is that Moodle will calculate your grade at any given point in the course, so you always know how you're doing. Right there in the course total, whatever that says, that's how you're doing in the course at any given time. So that's a really nice thing. The other thing is I try to post all the grades to make sure that I'm as transparent as possible. So sometimes I make mistakes. So sometimes I might incorrectly record a student's homework grade, for instance. So this way you can see what I have, which grade I have for you, and if there's a discrepancy, you can correct me. Just bring that to attention, and then bring that to my attention, and then we can work that out. So the transparency of Moodle's gradebook is really nice. Again, it just allows you to know what grades I have for you. And in the case of a discrepancy, you and I can work that out. All right, so that's a nice feature. I'm going to go back to the main Moodle site. One way to get back to the main Moodle site is by clicking the link right up here. You guys see this link right there? That'll take me back to the main Moodle site. And basically, I want to just very quickly go through some of the resources that are available here on Moodle. Right. So first of all, I've posted my office hours here. So there you go. Notice the and by appointment. So if these office hours are not convenient, you've got a conflict, but you would like to meet with me to ask me questions, then you can always make an appointment. So please take advantage of that. I'm happy to sit down with you to chat with you about calculus. You just need to let me know in the event that these times don't work very well. Let's see. So the syllabus is here. So I'm not going to go over the syllabus for the class right now, but the second video in this series will go over the main points of the syllabus. So please check that out. Here's a link to the Wofford College Honor Code. So the Wofford College Honor Code is important, and you need to adhere to it in this class as in all classes. So on things that you turn in to me, you need to pledge your name to signify that you have adhered to the honor code. Here's a link to peer tutoring. So at Wofford, you can get a free peer tutor for any class just by clicking on that link and following the directions. So it's best, if you think that peer tutoring would be a useful thing for you, it's best to start early rather than when it's too late. So again, it's free. You can get someone who's been successful in the class to help you out with your homework or help you study, that sort of thing. It's a really great resource, and I encourage you to take advantage of it. Right. Now the next the next three links have to do with our textbook. So the textbook in this class is the digital textbook. It's on the computer, and you'll need special software in order to open it. So in order to open the textbook, you will need to download Wolfram CDF Player. So if I click on this link, and I click on this link again, it takes me to a website that looks like this. Now this website actually can recognize that I'm on a Mac, and so it knows that, right? So you see it's got the Mac 10.9. If you are using a different platform, then it will recognize that and will give you the appropriate version of this software. This software is free for you to download. You just need to type in your email address. and then hit Start Download. And you'll need to download that in order to view the textbook. The textbook is very, very nice. It has interactive figures, which means it has these figures with sliders, and when you slide them, then things change. So it's a really great resource, I think, that you'll find. But you do need to download the Wolfram CDF player before you can open it. Once you've downloaded the Wolfram CDF player and installed it, right, so you have to download and then double-click on it, make sure it's installed correctly. The actual textbook is available here. So I'll show you what that looks like. You'll be taken to this website, and you'll see that there's a whole bunch of different download links over here. The easiest way to get the whole text is just to hit the download button right here for download full text. So that downloads it as a zip file. Each chapter is its own file. It's a great way to get all the files at once. Or if you only want to download a file at a time, that's fine too. So the first file that we're going to be looking at is the interlude, and you can download that chapter individually. And if you want to download the other chapters individually, you are welcome to do that. All right, so then that's the textbook. Let's see. Okay, so there's a very small percentage of Mac users for which if you download the Wolfram CDF player and the interactive textbook, you try to open it up, then it will open up as some sort of random letters. I mean, you can't read it at all, right? It just does not look right when you open it up. Or you may get a message that says, I can't open that. I don't know what to do about that. So again, that's only for a few Mac users. That's for Mac users with a, with a certain version of the Mac operating system. So if you have downloaded the Wolfram CDF player and the interactive textbook, and you try to open it up and you have a problem, then you can look at the special instructions for Mac users about digital textbook. I'm not going to go through that here because it only applies to a few of the Mac users out there. But if that's you, you can figure out exactly how to fix that problem with this special instructions. I will say that if you have trouble following the directions or you just can't figure out what to do about that, you should just come talk to me. Bring your computer if you can, and I can usually straighten that out and get that straightened out. If there's a problem, probably won't be. Probably everything will work out really, really nicely. All right, so then those three links again are the links for the textbook. The next one is called the GraphLock Graphing app. So in this class, you'll be able to use a graphing calculator on your tests and exams, and your homework and in class. But not everyone has a graphing calculator, and you may not want to go and buy a $100 graphing calculator just for this class. So if you don't already have a graphing calculator and you would like to not have to pay $115 or whatever it is dollars, there's a graphing app for your smartphone, and you can click there to get it. So I think it's about $5, and it has a really nice feature, and that is during a test, it will allow you to graph things, but it blocks your internet so that you can safely, use the graphing calculator during a test, but not have any access to the internet. Right, so this is an important way to make sure that the honor code is being followed. So if you would like to have that GraphLock graphing app for your smartphone instead of a graphing calculator, that's fine. We will get that set up for you. Again, it's like $4.99, and you can click here if you want to get that. The next two, test keys and daily handouts. Once we have tests in the class, I will post the keys to those tests in this folder, and most days, most class periods, we will have some sort of handout. I'm going to post those handouts here. So if you miss class or you lose your notes or whatever, you should have access to the daily handout in daily handouts. One thing, I am sometimes slow to get that posted, so sometimes I get a few days behind. So if you go and you look and the handout you're missing is not there yet, just email me and I'll make sure that I post it. Okay, let's see. One other thing I'd like to talk about is WebAssign. So WebAssign is the way that that we will be doing your homework. So WebAssign is an online homework system. So what that means is when you click on WebAssign, it will show you some homework. WebAssign actually randomly changes, has random numbers in there, so each person will get slightly different numbers. And again, to make sure that the problem that you get is similar to but different from the problem that another person gets, right? WebAssign is a really great system because it gives you instant feedback. So when you do your homework using WebAssign, you'll be able to type in your answer, and if it's not right, it will tell you right then and there, right? That is very, very useful. In the old way of doing things, when used to be, you would write down your solutions by hand and then turn them into me. And it might be another, week before I could get those graded and back to you. And let's say that it was certainly possible for you to have some sort of major misconception with the work, but not to know about it for a whole week. And in that week, we've covered other things, and that misconception has taken deep root into your brain, which is not a good thing. So with WebAssign, we can prevent that, right? WebAssign, you'll be able to do your homework, and if you get a question wrong, you'll be able to know right then that you got it wrong. The other nice thing about WebAssign is that you can get multiple tries. In fact, for most of your WebAssign homework problems, you will have 100 attempts to get it right. I don't care if you get it right the first time or the fifth time or the 100th time. I just care that you eventually get it right. Right? That's part of the goal here. So again, I give you 100 tries on most WebAssign homework questions to give you chances to learn from your mistakes. Right? That's so important to be able to learn from your mistakes and to get those misconceptions corrected before we move on to new material. So WebAssign is a really nice system. You do have to pay for it. And there are two ways to pay for it. If you went to the library and got the WebAssign Access card, that code that you get on that WebAssign Access card will pay for WebAssign. Or you could just type your credit card information directly into WebAssign. Now, the first time that you click this link, it will take you to a page where it establishes a link between Moodle and WebAssign. So you'll have to maybe type in some login information or invent some login information. If you already have a WebAssign account, it will just... you can log in with your normal WebAssign account information. And if you don't have a WebAssign account, it will guide you to create one. Now, the first week or two of class is free. It's a grace period. And I guess that's in case you decide to drop the class. You shouldn't pay for it until that grace period runs out. It's a really nice thing too, right? That you don't have to pay for it all up front. But once the grace period ends, you will have to type in that information, either the WebAssign access code or your credit card information. So when you want to get to WebAssign, you can log on to Moodle and click here. After the first time that when you click on it, if you click on it the second, third, fourth time, it will take you straight to WebAssign, and you won't have to log in again. So that's a very nice way. So it links your Moodle and your WebAssign accounts. Again, setting up that login information is only for the first time. Okay. So the only other thing that I want to tell you about Moodle was sort of how I tend to organize it. So I organize it by day, right? So here is Monday, September 4th. And then when we come to Wednesday, this will say Wednesday, and we'll have stuff here. So I put all the stuff for each day in its own little block. And you'll see from Monday, September 4th, there's a reading that's due September 6th. There's a checklist. There's a whole bunch of stuff you ought to do before the next class period. And there's another assignment. What is a limit? So again, I put all the assignments that have to do with one class in a block. If you click on what is a limit, there's some information here. That's what the assignment is. And down here, you can add a submission. So you can either type stuff into the text box, or you can drag a file here. So if you want to write it out by hand, take a picture of it and upload it, that's fine. If you want to type your answer using like a Word document, that's fine too. You can upload it there. So there's a lot of flexibility in how you get me the answer to the answer to the question. I'm going to hit cancel because I'm not going to submit anything right now. All right. And so again, I would just remind you that you've got some stuff to do before the next class period. You've got a reading to do. You've got all of this stuff to do here, right? And you've got the what is a limit assignment as well. I will point out that on Wednesday, Wednesday, September 6th, we will be doing classroom activities using the interactive textbook. So it's important that you have downloaded that, get it working, and that you bring that to class so that we can use that in class. All right. Well, thanks very much. If you have questions, please let me know. But for now, let's stop this video, and you are encouraged to go and watch the second video about the syllabus.